उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्परौ प्रपञ्चमातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापति स्तुमः. We have to start with Vibhavana. Okay, this is one of the important alankaras. You'll find many examples in Kavyam. And there are 6 varieties given by Kuvalayananda. We'll go over those 6 varieties. So, Vibhavana, you have to read both Vibhavana and Visheshokti and not get confused by it. Because Vibhavana is Sati Karane, Vina Karane, Karya Janma. Whereas Visheshokti is Karya Sattve api, Karana Sattve api, Karya Anutpattihi. Either into you have to remember it as opposites. Visheshokti doesn't have many varieties, whereas Vibhavana has 6 varieties here. So Vibhavana alankaraha prathama Vibhavana. Vibhavana vinapi syat karanam karya janma chet api alaksha rasa siktam raktan tvat charana dvayam. So Vibhavana vinapi syat karanam. Karanam vina api karya janma syat chet. Or saha Vibhavana alankaraha or sa Vibhavana. Vinapi karanam. Without any reason or without the reason being present, you see that the effect is happening. Without the cause, the effect is happening. If such a description is given, then it is called Vibhavana alankara. This is just one variety of Vibhavana. We have 5 more. Playing on this Hetu Karyam only. Api alaksha rasa siktam raktam tvat charanadvayam. Tvat charanadvayam. A Nayaka is looking at a Nayika and describing her 2 feet, which is raktam. It is red in color. Even without that, and the alta podrolya, you know, that and the pooch podradilya. பூச்சினுடைய அந்த ரசம் இல்லாமலேயே அது வந்து சிவப்பா இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற. So which means you need that kind of that alta or henna kind of thing, no, that paint. Without that laksha paint, lac, it is still red. Iti varnitam atra. So karanam vina api prasiddha karana abhavepi karya utpatti varnane Vibhavana alankaraha. So the lakshanam here is vina api syat karanam. So karanam vina api. What does that mean? Not any karanam. Swabhavat tatta raktatvam bhavitum arhati. Parantu prasiddha karanam tu katham laksha rasena eva tatra raktatvam drishyate sarvatra. So without that laksha rasa itself, so prasiddha karana abhave api, even though the popular reason is not present, we find that the effect is happening. Karya utpatti varnane. If there is a description that the karyam has happened, even though the most famous cause is not present. Vibhavyate karanantaram yasyam iti Vibhavana. Yasyam karyotpatyam yasyam karyotpatyam karanantaram vibhavyate. When another reason is being imagined for that effect to happen, then it is called Vibhavana. So Vibhavyate iti Vibhavana. You need the Vyutpatti also. So the name suggests that another reason is being imagined here for this kind of a Karyotpatti, whereas the Prasiddha reason is not present. Okay. So He Kante Tava Charanadvayam, your 2 feet, alaksha rasa siktam. Laksha rasena asiktam. Samantataha laksha rasa siktamna toikyapattadunu artham. Adhaadu it is being drenched by the lac. Whereas it is not drenched by the lac. Laksha rasena asiktam. Tatra you take this as na and you connect it with the verb here. That's how Abhanubhedyam ityadikam tu the Kadambarila, we read all those, right? In Shukanasa Upadesha. So the similar type of Samasta Padam is happening here. So Laksha Rasena, Laksha Rasena Asiktam iti Alaksha Rasasiktam. So it is not being drenched in that lac or in that alta. Laksha Rasa Lepanam Vina Api, without being anointed by that Laksha Rasam. Raktam Lohitam Jatam Tvacharana Dvayam. Ityatra Charanayoho Lauhityasya Prasiddha Laksharasa Lepana Rupa Karana Abhave Api. Even though the redness of that legs have to be, the redness of the feet have to be from the Laksharasa. But that is absent here. Even though that is absent, we see the varnana, we see the description that such a redness has occurred in the feet. So, Utpatti Varnanat, Vibhavana, Lauhityasya Utpatti Varnanat. Connect these two here. So, this Charanayoho Lauhityasya Utpatti Varnanat. That there is a redness is being described here, even though the Prasiddha Karanam is absent. So what could be the reason? We have to think of another reason, right? So Lauhityasya Swabhavikatvat Virodha Pariharaha. Then how can that happen? Hetu Karyayoho Tatra Vyaptihi Sarvatha Vartate eva. In all ways, in any manner, when you look at it, there should be a reason. We may not know the reason. Some adrishta vashat tatra bhavitum arhati. Parantu tatra karanam vicharaniyam eva. Kim karanam iti chet lauhityasya tu swabhavikam eva swabhavikatvam karanam bhavati. When you say that, then that contradiction is removed here. There is a contradiction that without the cause, effect seems to magically appear there. But that is not the case. You understand that there is another reason here. Clear? So, Shadvida Vibhavana Karanam Vina Karyotpattihi Hetu Vaikalyepi Karyotpattihi Pratibandhaka Sattve Api Karyotpattihi Akaranat Karyotpattihi Viruddha Karyotpattihi Karyat Karana Utpattihi. These are 6 varieties of Vibhavana that we are going to see. We will look at the definitions in each of those sections. So Pratama Vibhavanayaha Aparam Udaharanam. The other example for this is Apita Kshiba Kadambam Asamrishta Amala Ambaram Aprasadita Sukshmambu Jagat Asit Manoharam. Jagat Manoharam Asit. The entire world was beautiful, attractive. This is during the description of Sharadritu. Fall season happens, then everything clears up, and there is an intoxication there also. The waters are very clear. And the Akasham is also as if it has been wiped away. Tatha asti Jagat Manoharam Asit. During that Sharadritu, this entire world is very attractive. Now, what is, without saying that Sharadritu, he has just generally said that the world is attractive. Apita Kshiva Kadambam. Kadamba, Kshiva Kadamba, intoxicated Hamsa. Kadambaha tu Hamsaha iti. The swans are all intoxicated here, even without having drunk any madhu. Madhu arundamaleye abde mayangi irukakudi anna pakshigal. Appdi konda or ulagam. So it is an adjective to the Jagat here. So you take it as the Jagat which has swans, Kadamba, that are intoxicated, Kshiba, without having drunk anything, without having drunk alcohol or madhu, something of that sort which can give them intoxication. That's because the swans start migrating, or they come back to their place. They like the pond. So Sharadritu is an attractive time for the swans. We understand that like that. Then Asamrishta Amala Ambaram. Even without having wiped it, the sky is very pure. So there are no clouds. Immediately after Varsha Kalam, Sharadritu comes about. So there are no clouds at all during fall season. And the sky is as if it has been wiped. But here, how he describes it is, the world has a sky, Ambaram, which is pure, Amala, Asamrishta. even without having wiped it with a cloth. Asamrishta, even without having been wiped, it is very pure, very clean. Aprasadita sukshma ambu. So sukshma ambu aprasadita. This you will take it at prasadanam vina api sukshmam. இது எப்படி எடுத்துக்கலாம்? Resume. So prasadita can be filtering. When you filter water which is a lot, seems a lot, the moment you put it under a filter and bring out clear water, it will actually be lesser in quantity than what it was before. Because it was, so when it had all the impurities, it would have been larger in volume, but then as you filter it, it will become sukshma ambu. And it will also be pure, distilled water. Sukshma can be something like distilled water. No? Without having being filtered, the water is very pure and clear like distilled water. So Sukshma Ambu during this Sharat Kala. So the Tatha Jagat Manoharam Asit. So the world was very attractive at that time. Atra Pana Marjana Prasadana Rupa Prasiddha Karana Abhave Api. Panam here Madhupanam Vina. Marjanam Vina Asamrishta iti. Aprasadita iti Prasadana Rupa Karanam Vina. So without having been filtered. Nobody sits and filters the water of the river. Right? So tatha, without any filtering process, these reasons are not present. Still, kshibatvam, amalatvam, and then sukshmatvam. All of these seem to be present. So kshibatva, amalatva, sukshmatva rupa karya utpatti varnanat. The effect has happened even without the cause. So Vibhavana fits here beautifully. But then how is it possible that Virodha we see? Mattatvam katham panam vina bhavet. It is tatra sharat kalaha eva virodha pariharaha. So sharat samaya hetukatvena. This is the karanantaram that we understand. So sharat samaya hetukatvena virodha pariharaha. Is that clear?
Madhya, is this like that Vyabhichara, Sahachara, that kind of thing?
Adeda.
Right?
Ama.
Anvaya
Vyabhichara, Vyadreka Vyabhichara. Adeda. Dvitiya Vibhavana. Now, here, Hetunam asamagratve karyotpattihi cha samata. When there is a hetu, but the hetu is not fulfilling enough. But at the same time, karyotpatti happens. We need 4, but only 1 is present. Still the effect is happening. Tatha asti, varnanam. So hetunam asamagratve api. So hetunam asamagratve apurnatve api karyotpattihi varnane dvitiya vibhavana. So what is the second one he has given here? Hetu vaikalye api karyotpattihi ityuktam. Vikalatvam nama apurnatvam. It is not full. So vikalangaha iti vadamaha, right? When we say differently abled or physically challenged, tatha vadamaschete vikalangaha iti. Vaikalyam is something that is not full. Asamagratve apurnatve api karyotpatti varnane dvitiya vibhavana. This is the second type. So what is the example given? Astraihi atikshna kathinaihi jagat jayati manmathaha. Atikshna akathina. Both have to be understood here. That nanya, you take it for both of those visheshanas. So atikshna akathina. So atikshna kathinaihi astraihi manmataha jagat jayati. Manmatha wins over the Lord Kama. He wins over the entire world with the astra, with his weapons. You need a weapon to win a war. When you are waging a war, you need weapons. That is fine. But then it is not full enough. It has some missing qualities there. A weapon has to be sharp. It has to be hard so that it goes and hits the target and you can conquer that other person. Whereas here, Manmatha, even though his weapon is not sharp, It is very, it's monnaya irukkumbo illaya adu ukkandu teetanamo illo. You have to sharpen your arrows before a battle, but then if it is not sharp enough, then it will not hit the target. Then how is it possible? But Manmatha can do it. Atikshna, akathina, and it is also not hard because it is pushpabanaha saha iti karanat. His astram is only flowers which are not sharp nor are they hard, but with those weapons he is able to win over the entire world. अतीक्ष्णैः अकठिनैः च अस्त्रैः मन्मथः जगत् जयति इत्यत्र हेतूनाम् अस्त्राणां हेतुसत्वं, your cause is present, but the cause is not present in its entirety. तीक्ष्णत्वादि गुण वैकल्ये अपि, even though it does not have the qualities necessary for it to be considered as a weapon, which is sharpness, etc. Even though there is these qualities are not present, Jagat Jaya Rupa Karya Utpatti Varnanat, he wins over this Jagat iti Karya Utpatti Varnanam Vartate. Tasmat Atra Vibhavana. But what is the other, even though with these things he is able to win over, means he only has to, his target is Manas. So he uses other things for this. He uses their own manas, their own kama to win over the world. You can think of another reason like that if you want. Okay. So the next one, apparam udaharanam. Here is asyaha eva apparam udaharanam. Udyana marutodhutaha chuta champaka renavaha udasrayanti panthanam asprishanto vilochane. अस्पृशन्तो विलोचने अस्पृशन्तः उद्यानमारुत उद्धूताः चूतचम्पकरेणवः पान्थानाम् उदस्रयन्ति. विलोचने उदस्रयन्ति. There are travelers who are walking through a garden. When the travelers are walking through the garden, their eyes start watering. This is the main sentence. So panthanam vilochane, the two eyes of the travelers, udasrayanti, they start to water. Which causes the water here? The chuta champaka renavaha, the pollen grains from mango and champaka vriksham. From these trees, from mango tree and champaka vriksha, the renavaha, the pollen grains from those, which are maruta uddhutaha, udyana maruta uddhutaha, that are being sent across, preritaha iti, uddhutaha, that which is being instigated by the wind in the garden, these pollen grains, asprishantaha api, even though they do not come and touch the eye of the traveler, still they cause the eyes of the travelers to water. So udasrayanti, it is udgatam asram kurvanti. This is a adenna the kyanga the achara artheva and the madri varun nanikra. No, I'm not sure if there is a dhatu.
Not kyang, because if it was kyang, it would be
atmanepadi varum. Ama ketcha irukum, but idu vandu whether asrayati iti, I am not sure if there is a dhatu as such. Illa. So it must be idu. Yeah. Ama. This is I think this is so this is udasram karoti iti udasrayati appadha varanam. Catch. Apanthanam asprishantaha vilochane. Usually only when the pollen grains come and touch your eyes, when they get into the eyes, it should cause tearing up. But here, even without coming to the eyes, naturally there are tears that are falling from the eyes of the travelers. Why is this? So the reason here, you should imagine a little bit. So atra svarshana kriya vaikalye api, even though the half of the reason is not, the pollen grains are present, but they are not coming and touching. Sparshana kriya tu tatra avashyaki. It is necessary for the eyes to start watering only when the pollen grains enter, but that part is not present. So apurna hetuhu. Apurnaha hetuhu atra. So hetoho vaikalye api renubihi bashpa udgamana rupa karya jananat. By the pollen grains, the tears appear. So the karyam happens here. Bashpa udgamana rupam karyam bhavati. Why is that? Virahatapa. So they are travelers who are separated from their wives. The moment they see a garden which is filled with blooming, this is the advent of spring. That is why you have mango flowers which come out first, and then you have champaka flowers also. So during the advent of spring, the travelers want to be with their wives. Now they are away from their wives. So virahatapate tatra bashpa udgamaha bhavati. So that becomes the karyantaram. Even though there is no full reason here. Clear? Huh? Can go to the next. Okay. Tritiya Vibhavana Karyotpattihi Tritiya Syat Satyapi Pratibandhake. So Pratibandhake Satyapi, even though there is a Pratibandhaka, that is something to stop it. Obstacle. Even if there is an obstacle here, tathapi karya utpattihi. So there is a hetu, there is an obstacle for that hetu, but still the karya happens. Usually if there is an obstacle, there is a snake. So the example he gives here is Narendra Neva Te Rajan Dashati Asi Bhujangamaha. There is a lot of alankaras going on in this shloka. There is Parikala Alankara, Parikara Ankura Alankara, Shlesha, Virodha, not Virodha, but Vibhavana is also there. So before we go into that example, let's first understand what is this Pratibandhakam and Hetu Karyam. If you have read Nyaya, this will be easier to understand. So when there is a Hetu and a Karya Utpatti, even if the hetu is present, if a pratibandhaka is present, that is a vignam is present, then the karyotpattihi na jayate. I have eyes, I can see an object in front of me, but let's say someone has put a brick wall in between. That brick wall becomes the pratibandhakam, even though the hetu is present and the karya is present. This brick wall becomes a pratibandhaka for the karya anutpatti, that is darshana rupa karyasya anutpattihi jayate. न उत्पद्यते इति दर्शनं तु तत्र न प्राप्तं यतः प्रतिबन्धकः भवति. There is an obstacle. No, even if there is an obstacle, there is a karya utpatti. I am able to see it. Even if there is a, let's say a veil comes in between, you think it is going to be a pratibandhaka, but my eyes are so much sharper that I can see what is behind it. This is just a simple example that doesn't become a kavyam, okay? Because for the kavyam, you need something much more going on there. So for you to understand, I'm saying this. Let's say somebody puts a veil as a pratibandhaka, but then you are able to see what is happening beyond the veil. Then pratibandhaka sattve api karya utpattihi, darshana rupa karya utpattihi jayate. Okay, that is this tritiya vibhavana. Pratibandhake satyapi. Yadi karya utpattihi varnyate, even if there is an obstacle and the effect happens. Sa tritiya vibhavana. Example given here is, Hey Rajan, te asi bhujangamaha. Your sword is like a serpent. It is like a snake. Your sword narendraneva dashati. It kills or it goes and hits, bites only the narendraha. It goes and bites the big kings. So let's say the Kavi is describing a Chakravarti here. He wants to say that all of the Chakravarti's enemies are all great kings by themselves. But your sword does not go and fight with these small kings, vassal kings, but it goes and kills even the greatest of all kings. So this is what he wants to describe here. The udaharanam here is bhujangamaha. You think of a serpent here. You bring in a Vishavaidya, a snake charmer or a Vishavaidya, a doctor, poison doctor, who has a mantram, mani, aushadam, all of these things with him, right? And the snake will never try to come and bite that Vishavaidya, the poison doctor. But he says here, the snake comes to bite the poison doctor himself. So the poison doctor is supposed to be a pratibandhaka. For the bhujangasya damshana karye, Bhujangaha hetuhu, damshanam tu tatra karyam. What is the pratibandakam obstacle here? Vishavaidya is an obstacle. Okay? In your Upameya side also, the king is your hetu, asi, his sword is the hetu to kill. Right? The marana karyam. Marana karyetu pratibandakam kim. Everybody else is as skilled as this king. So, the karya utpattihi na jayate eva. Parantu pratibandaka sattve api, even though they are great kings, they are being killed here. The way he puts it in this shloka is, he includes a slesha in this. So the word Narendra has two meanings here. One is Naranam Nripatihi iti. The other meaning is Vishavaidyaha. Both meanings are there for the word Narendra. So, He Rajan, Tava asihi eva khadgaha bhujangamaha sarpaha. Your sword, which is a snake, seems to bite. It bites damshati vishavaidya narendraneva damshati. It bites the vishavaidyas themselves, the poison doctors themselves. Ityatra sarpa damsha pratibandhaka mantra aushadhadi sattve api. A poison doctor is a person who equips himself with the mantram, Garuda mantram, and aushadhi to remove the visham, to remove the poison. So Narendra itself is a parikarankura alankara, where by slesha the word itself means vishavaidya, one who possesses mantra and aushadhi. Okay, so mantra aushadhi sattve api, even though he has that pratibandakam of mantra and aushadham, still dashana karya utpatti dashati iti karya utpatti varnanat tritiya vibhavana. Narendra shabdasya shleshena nripatyarthakatve virodha pariharaha. So how can the sword go and bite Vishavaidyas? Then you take it as, it is a sword. He is so powerful that he can win over other great kings also. Virodha parihara. Tatparyam tu tatha vartate. Okay. So pratibandaka sattve api Vishavaidya sannidhane bhujangamaha na dashet prayaha. Parantu tatha pratibandake satyapi dashati iti karya utpatti. Is that clear? But this is not so great an example, whereas the Aparam Udaharanam is a little bit nicer. Chitram Tapati Rajendra. You have a question?
No.
Okay. Chitram Tapati Rajendra Pratapa Tapanastava Anatapatram Utsrijya Satapatram Vishadgana. Hey Rajendra, O king, your pratapa, your valor is like the sun. So usually what does the sun do? It will only burn heavily for those who do not protect themselves as an umbrella. The umbrella becomes a pratibandhaka for the dahanam. Correct? So you hold an umbrella, then you can obstruct or block the sun's rays from burning you. But your pratapa is such that your valor is like the sun, but it is it burns in a very unique manner. Chitram tapati he Rajendra, tava pratapa tapanaha iti chet suryaha. Tava pratapaha eva suryaha vartate. Tattu chitram tapati. It shines in a very unique manner, in a very beautiful manner, adbhutatvena, right? In a surprising manner. How is it doing? Dvishadganam, satapatram dvishadganam, Anatapatram utsrijya, satapatram dvishadganam tapati. It burns or it shines forth only for those enemies who have atapatram, who have a vengotra kodaingirom illaya,
umbrella,
royal umbrella. அதுதான் ஆதபத்திரம்ங்கிறது இங்க those who have or those who are under your protection, so they feel your greatness here. So dvishadganam tapati iti. With your valor you only approach enemies who are up to your strength. Those who are protected by the royal umbrella, that is, you only look at them as enemies. You don't go and approach people who do not have that royal umbrella. That is your utsrijya, anatapatram utsrijya. You let go of people who don't have umbrellas, and you only attack your pratapa. It only burns people, the enemies who have an umbrella. It only approaches you. You only give trouble to enemies who are kings. You don't give trouble to normal people who don't have the protection of royalty in them. You don't unnecessarily go and trouble normal people. You only go and attack enemies who are kings. That's the idea here. Tatparyam tu tatha. Okay, so tapa pratibandaka atapatra sattve api. Even though there is an umbrella, which is an obstacle for the burning, for the tapam, heat, still pratapa tapanaha, your valor, which is like Surya, dushad ganam tapati, it goes and burns, or it heats up the enemies, which is it destroys the enemies there. Karya utpatti varnanat vibhavana alankaraha. Clear? This is the third type of vibhavana.
Is it like he attacks only kings who are like Chhatrapati level or something, not like vassal kings or like lowly kings he won't attack, but
not simple landlords. Not like that. Yeah, that's what it means. Okay. Correct.
Mahodaya, in the Niti Shatakam also there is one shloka like this, right? Where Rahu will only attack Surya and Chandra, even though there are so many other devas, but he only attacks.
The idea is correct, but whether this Tritiya Vibhavana Vartate va nava iti drashtavyam. Anatapatram Satapatram iti vartate. So the fact that he only attacks people who don't have umbrella. Sorry, he doesn't attack people who have umbrella. Another Tan Pratyesha Santyanye Brihaspati Prabhutayaha Sambhavitah Panchashaha Tan Pratyeva Vishesha Vikrama Ruchi Rahuhu Navairayate. Okay, but it does not go and attack them. Dvaveva Grasate Divakaranisha Praneshwaro Bhaswaro Bhrataf Parvani Pashya Danavapatihi Shirshavashesha Kritihi. There is nothing here. Where is the Pratibandakam here?
No Pratibandakam.
No Pratibandaka here.
Correct.
Okay, the idea is the same, but there is no description of Pratibandakam. Atratu Atapatra Sattve api, even though there is a Chhatra Sattve api, Dushadganam Tapayati, that becomes a Pratibandaka Sattve api Karya Utpatti. Yeah.
But this is not the third Vibhavana, but can it be the earlier one? The first one, which is just the peculiar causation. Where Karanas,
without a well-known cause.
Even though there is a cause, the Karya Anutpattihi.
Karya Utpatti.
No, Aprila. எப்படி என்ன காரிய உற்பத்தி இங்கே வேற மாதிரி இருக்கு. ராகுஹு ந வைராயத்தே எடுத்துக்கோங்க, விசேஷோக்தி அந்த இடத்துல.
Correct.
The first half, even though Brihaspatihi vartate, Brihaspati also has that quality. There are so many planets on the earth, but so many planets in the sky, but they are not being attacked by Rahu. There is a possibility of Rahu to attack them also, but it lets go of all of them. It only wants to attack these two. Adu vera. The first one, the fact that they are also present in the sky, and the fact that they are also planets which can be under attack but are not getting attacked by Rahu. So Karana Sattve api Karya Anutpattihi Visheshokti.
Correct. And that this thing is called peculiar causation. So we need to the Tamil one is called Piridi Araichani. So we have to isolate the reason and why some particular peculiar way it is causing it, like that. We have to do some kind of research.
The problem enna aiduna and madri நம்ம analyze பண்றச்சே, what is the peculiar way nutu we will start thinking about the other cause which is not even present in the Vachyartha. Annala you go by this here.
Okay, okay.
ஓகே, பிரதிபந்தகம் இருக்கு, ஆனாலும் உங்களுக்கு காரியம் உண்டாருது, அவ்வளவுதான்.
Okay, okay.
What is that Tamil one? Is it a translation of this, or is it
No,
something
it is a separate alankara definitions that she takes from Tamil. Literature has certain alankaras, right? Which
In
can
Tamil
coincide,
Alankara equivalent Tamil.
which can equate or which may not equate also. That's what I'm saying. See, sometimes it can fit very clearly. Like simple upama rupakam and all will just fit. No worries. Even Vyajaninda fits beautifully. But then one variety of Vyajaninda fits, but the other varieties did not fit. The same way here also, it's not, you think, you start analyzing for another reason. There could be another reason, but we describe it in such a manner that there is no reason here. But the karyam is happening, like some magic is happening.
Okay. I also saw that Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya, that famous thing. One bird is just sitting and witnessing, the other bird is enjoying the fruits or something, right?
Swadu Palamatti.
Swat. For there it was given like, it has like Anuprasa, Rupaka, Visheshokti and Vibhavana. What
both
kind of Vibhavana?
So in that wherever there is Visheshokti and Vibhavana, you have to express it in such a manner. So Swadu yata syat tatha atti iti vartate. Vasuparna sayuja sakhayo. La
Samanam vriksham parishasvajate. Tayor anyaha pippalam swadu atti. Anashnan anyaha abhichakashiti.
Anashnan abhichakashiti. Karana abhave api. Karana abhave. See, when you don't eat, you can't be bright. You eat and then only pushtihi jayate. Ashanadeva, bhojanadeva, tatra pushtihi jayate sharirasya. Parantu atra anyaha anashnan karana abhave, prasiddha karana abhave, bhojana rupa karana abhave, prakashanam rupa karya utpattihi asti. Varnanat, utpattehe varnanat, vibhavana. Okay?
Karanam nasti chedapi, na?
Nasti chedapi. Anashnan iti asti kalu?
Anashnan. That is Visheshokti or Vibhavana?
So, atra karana, prasiddha karana abhave karya utpattihi vibhavana. So, that is vibhavana for us.
Okay.
The first one, Pippalam swadu atti. Pippalam is not a sweet fruit, but it will not give you, you cannot eat it in a very sweet manner. Swadu yata syat tatha atti iti katham vaktum shakyate. So,
okay.
Swadutvasya there also you can have karana abhave karya utpattihi.
It's like enjoying the samsara, right? Although it has all problems, it's just
enjoying it. Yeah. When there is a problem, you don't enjoy it. So even though there is a problem, he still enjoys it. That also is a karana abhave karyotpatti. I don't understand how visheshokti comes in.
Karana abhave, see the like when you have dukkam, you should have I mean when you have kashtam, you should have dukkam instead of sukham. But when you have kashtam, still he has sukham, enjoying it.
அப்படி எடுத்துக்கலாம். சுவாது யதா, ஆமா காரியோத்பத்திஹி தானே வருது. என்ன சொல்றேன்? So காரண அபாவேங்கர்ச்சு, so you take it like this. பிப்பல பலே ஸ்வாது, பிப்பல பலே கஷ்ட அனுபவ ரூப ஹேதுஹு வர்த்ததே, பரந்து கஷ்டம் ந அனுபவதி. So காரிய அனுத்பத்திஹி விசேஷோக்தி. இந்ததா?
Correct.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that clear? No? You need to think a little.
One more time. Pippala pale.
Pippala pale tu swadutvam nasti. Okay? So pippala pale tintrini khalu. So it is something like a very bitter one. Katutvam eva vartate. So katutvam vartate tarhi swadu aswadu, the enjoyment cannot be swadu there. Swadu, take it as a kriya visheshanam. Take it as a kriya visheshanam. Swadu yatha syat tata ashnati iti. Swadu atti iti. So pippale katutvam vartate kintu dukkham nanubhavati. Dukkhanubhava karana sattve api karya anutpattihi visheshoktihi. It's a little twisted. Vibhavana is easier.
That's why the Tamil one gives a much clearer, like where we have to do the research, whether we have to do the research on the karanam or like the cause or the allegation, like that. So Vibhavana is the peculiar causation and Visheshokti is the peculiar allegation. So that kind of helps us to...
You look at the effect for Visheshokti. For Vibhavana, you look at what the karanam is. Analyze the cause for Vibhavana.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have...
And then this one also, that Jarasavina, whatever, Vriddhatvam Jarasavina, Raghuvamsha, that also I got.
The same. Yes.
Okay.
That is also the same type of example only. Vriddhatvam Jarasavina. So there you take it as Vriddhatvam Tatparyam Virodha Pariharaha Katham Bhavati Tatra. Vriddhatvam tu Jnana Vriddhaha iti. Na tu Vayo Vriddhaha.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll stop with this. There are 3 more examples. So we'll finish Vibhavana next class. Okay.